right, Roy, give me a sound check here.
Check, check.
Oh,
Sunday, sudden victory.
welcome everyone to Sunday Sudden Victory. This is our opportunity to let you know about everything you're going to hear about tomorrow. Get those early opinions out there where we recap all the great wrestling of the weekend. How are you doing tonight, Roy?
I'm doing great. It's finals next week, so really wrapping things up now.
Oh yeah, we're getting into like the busy season. Everybody's ordering their packages and
Yes.
like, but it's actually a slow season for IT. So I'll be out there helping out where I can. Uh, welcome everyone. This is Sunday Sudden Victory from the QuadR Wrestling Report. Like and subscribe. There's a Zoom link in the chat, both on YouTube and on X. So feel free to jump right in if you have a take anytime you'd like. But without that, we try to get this done pretty quickly. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the deck. You ready, Roy?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Okay, let's hear the recap.
All right. Well, PS Who is back
Mm,
after seemed like not wrestling much at all this year. Penn State wrestled Wyoming and Chattanooga. They won both of them. Haters beware, as you know. One of the stories this week was Penn State was demoted to number two, primarily due to a lack of competing. Because there's some guys on their team ranked pretty low that we all think are probably better than that. Wyoming did get the moral victory though. Joey Novak got a win over Mirasola, and also Wyoming had a pretty sold out stadium, so that was pretty cool. And I put duck season here. We were all looking forward to number one versus number two, Ty Waters versus Landon Rabadou. Did not happen. There's no official reason yet, but Ty Waters did not come to the West Virginia versus Oklahoma State duel. Or I don't know if he was there or not, but he did not wrestle.
my take on that would be only an amateur wrestling fan gets disappointed from no shows.
Right.
That is part of the game. I mean I don't know like Vinny Zerban didn't wrestle Ty Waters, right? Ty Waters doesn't wrestle Landon Robidoux. Uh, I mean, I feel like, yeah, there could be a lot of reasons, especially this close to the Christmas season, where you're going to have a little bit of a break, and like whether about could be about making weight, could be a lot of different things. But um, I don't love the term duck, but he wasn't there, so what was that? If it quacks like a duck or whatever. All right, awesome. All right, my recap. I saw things a little bit differently. I tuned in late to the Penn State uh, duel, and all I saw is Wyoming just whooping. So I kind of feel like Ohio State uh, keeps rolling. They are now the clear number one, maybe at the lower weights. You got to pick Mendez. Last time I saw Lilladall wrestle in Ohio State wrestler, he was getting stuck. So figure like even if they don't get 6 points at 125, maybe if they only get like three or four, uh, Mendez probably going to get a major. I think Davino, last time I saw that match, he beat Blaze. So at the top of, I mean, you got to pick, at 97 in heavyweight, that's Ohio State. So can Penn State do enough in the middle? I think Kirchler gave Levi everything he wanted last time they wrestled, from what I can recall. So I feel like right now, I'm going to keep Ohio State in that number one position, and we'll see. Penn State's got to show me something. So again, I missed part
Yeah.
of that Wyoming duel. So Gabe Arnold going down and wrestling up. I like that. So
Right.
he's cutting down to 74. So he weighed in at 179, and then he took the mat at 197. I do like the synergy there. I don't know if he like planned to
Yeah.
weigh 179 and then go 197, but that was cool.
The numerology worked out.
Yeah, that was awesome. Um, I think we figured out how to beat the Japanese lightweights. We just send them to Penn State to train, and then so
Yeah.
so Penn State broke Ono. That's kind of crazy to me, but I don't think I don't think Ono is going to All American in American wrestling, and I don't know that we see much more from him on the international scene either. Kind of a tweener. Kayuka, they got a lot of tough guys in Japan. It's gonna be going down or ups. That's a tough team to make. Rei Higuchi's like, pondering life in a room by himself, getting better at wrestling and trying to achieve immortality. And Ono's over here eating hamburgers at some diner at Penn State. So we'll see what happens. But thought that was interesting. And a nice win for Oklahoma. Oklahoma, they're doing a good job building a strong team. They lost some guys, right? So they lost Peyton Keller, Hippolito, went into Rutgers and won the duel, went down to heavyweight. That heavyweight was super fun. That was a great match. I actually really enjoyed that duel. So congratulations to Oklahoma on that big victory. Again, guys, we're using a brand new computer here, so I don't know, put in the chat how things are sounding, looking, working, but give us some feedback. All right. Roy, why don't you explain to everyone what a rumbler and a tumbler is?
Essentially, a rumbler is somebody who is climbing up in the rankings. So it could be somebody who was maybe an outside threat to All-American that were becoming more and more confident that they'll be an All-American, or someone who was not in the national champ conversation who's now in the national champ conversation. A tumbler is essentially the opposite. If you used to be an All-American, not a favorite, I don't know if favorite is the right word.
Candidate, maybe?
An All-American likely. Yeah, a likely All-American. Now it's feeling like unlikely. Or if you were in the national champion conversation and now it's feeling like you're now no longer in the national champion conversation. That is essentially what a rumbler and a tumbler is.
All right, awesome. You're up first. Oh, well, not quite. Right. We got our accountability check-in. So Roy and I like to do an accountability check-in here, talk about previous week's rumblers and tumblers and how they're doing or whether they're continuing on their trend line or moving in different directions. So Ryder Block continues to be very, very strong. He got a pin this weekend. I mean, he's just looking great. Really think that Ryder Block is really solidifying himself as a real strong, likely All-American type candidate. Nate Desmond does what he's asked to do, right? And goes up a couple weight classes, and which begs the difference. If he can beat Luke Lillidahl, he can probably beat Nagao, right?
I'm sure that was the conversation in the Penn State coach's office.
I'm just saying.
We've seen Lillidahl and Nagao go at practice.
Yeah. What do we do here? So, I don't know. But yeah, in my opinion, right, if the kid wants to wrestle and he's willing to wrestle off, there's a lot of different spots where he could probably fit into that lineup and make it strong. Okay, Landon Robidoux got ducked, chance to really rumble his way into high AA finalist, and Ty Waters took the day off. It happens. I don't again, I don't like to attribute too much to it, especially this time of year where you're coming up on break and that kind of thing, and guys who've been around the block a bunch of times, skipping one weight cut. Could be a lot of things, but I don't think Ty Waters is fearful. Tumblers, Jet Strickenberger fell to Spratley, so we didn't get to empty any clips and any of that.
They were both. That was like Tumbler versus Tumbler, by the way.
Yes, I did see that. So
somebody had to win.
What do we make of that? Swiderski, he won.
He won against an unranked opponent. Gave a pretty bizarre interview afterwards. Was evidently not happy with his own, performance or role on the team or something. It just seemed like he had a lot on his mind.
It doesn't seem so happy with his lot in life, maybe too strong a word, but how things are going in Oklahoma, Give him a little bit of that Gilman vibe.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I always enjoyed him. I enjoyed him when he was like
Yeah.
winning matches he shouldn't have won or no one thought he was going to win way back in high school, and who's number one and stuff like that. And he just came out and like
Yeah.
was beating guys, and he was always fun and charging ahead and aggressive. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, interesting. And Schwaber, did
He got a win.
did he win
Yeah, he got a major decision.
against
I don't know if he
Oklahoma?
wrestled.
I thought he lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. That was a little confusing. They were both red. Not really. They weren't both wearing red, but
Yeah. He beat Carter Schmidt,
okay.
who's unranked.
Okay. Yeah. So still there. All right. Yeah, I'd pulled Jet off the tumblers list, but maybe well, we'll see. TBD.
No, if you're on the list, you're on the list,
Okay,
man.
you're on it. Okay, right. Who are your rumblers this week?
Joey Novak from Wyoming beat Mirasola. It was a convincing win. It was a little close in the end, and he went and got a whole nother takedown that he didn't necessarily need to get, but just showed that he was the one that still had the energy and the fire to go out and get it, and in a duel that wasn't that close. So good for Joey Novak. Sometimes, with when Penn State comes and because they haven't wrestled a lot of their guys are ranked maybe a little low. And Mirasola was actually somebody that there were question marks about. So good for Joey Novak. And I put Ryder Block, even though you already have him on the Rumbler list,
Yeah.
but I added him to my Rumbler list.
Nice.
He just looks really good, looks really healthy, and I don't want everyone to think that I'm like always an Iowa hater. I
Right.
I can recognize when somebody is stepping up and doing great.
Yeah, I think Novak that was kind of important, right? I mean, like he Cliff Keen didn't quite go the way he wanted it to, right? Ended up
Right.
getting worked pretty good, but so it was nice. I mean, people always talk about tiers, right? And it definitely like
Right.
sort of. I mean, there was like this question, and like Ben was arguing about Connor Mirasola was ranked too low, and like this was like 9
Yeah.
versus 8 or something, and he lost. So I guess that came out in the wash pretty quick. So it did kind of like
Yeah.
make you wonder about Mirasola, but I guess he's um not the projected starter. But like you say, man, it's been months now, and we haven't seen Barr. So at this point, you got to scratch your head about Barr or Crookham or Stanish or any of these guys that we haven't quite seen yet. It's
Yeah.
not academically related. All right, cool. My rumblers are a bunch of old guys. So ninth year seniors Carson Karchla and Isaac Trumbull. Like I
Yeah.
mean, Karch's been out there getting it done. I for sure. But it was just nice to see him take out, maybe a questionable number two, but still a number two in Singleton. And like, he seems to be like pretty healthy, even when he's on the mat the last few years, it sort of looked like he's like laboring, and,
Yeah. Yeah.
working against injuries or something like, like his style is being
Right.
determined by the fact that this knee doesn't work or this shoulder doesn't work or whatever it might be. But
Right.
he's looked healthy, and he's got all the talent, and that's a big piece for them. I mean, if he's a high AA, then that'd be really important for Ohio State. And Isaac Trumbull came into the season not wrestling, injured. I thought that like, oh boy, here we go, and and then he showed up, and then he won, and then he
Yeah.
took out number one, I guess, or whatever.
We got Feldman.
Took out Feldman, who's certainly in the
Yeah.
top 3 ranked guys right now. Feldman's beat Ferrari, so huge, big, fun win for that guy. So welcome back, and I say feel pretty good about Isaac Trumbull if he can stay in one piece. You know, being a really competitive for the All American. So those are my guys,
Well, of course. I mean, he was 4, and he just beat number 2,
right?
so he's got to be ranked like number 2 now. I mean, Bastida, I think, is a clear one at this point.
Yeah, right.
He's the only great heavyweight who hasn't lost.
Yeah, and right, he doesn't lose that ranking without losing because he's crushing dudes.
Right.
So Bastida's there, but
But that was last year too. He beat Hendrickson, and he went into
2 years ago. But
NCAA's
yeah,
undefeated.
hmm
Or 2 years ago, I mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boy,
So even if he looking like a Hodge guy, that's not a guarantee that he's gonna
oh, right.
do it in March.
Broke his finger.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now we got to talk about our tumblers. Unfortunately, so Matty Singleton, came in with a really high ranking and lost to a really great wrestler. We just talked about it. It's really tough to have the guy who won on the Rumble list and the guy who lost on the Tumblr list because, I mean, they're both really good wrestlers. But, I mean, this is about confidence and AAs and things like that. And so I just felt like my confidence went way up for Carson and went down for Singleton. Again, you get with these guys have been competing for a long time. You don't know what you're gonna get, but and then the other one's the Mirasola brothers. This was I turned on the duel late. I mean, I won't say that wasn't by design because there was only like 2 matches that I was interested in watching. The others like, I mean, how Penn State wrestlers fare against unranked or guys in the 20s and 30s is like I already have a pretty good idea what's going to happen there. So, there was no questions to be answered in the first 8 matches of that duel. It was the last 2 matches where we were going to get some questions answered, and they didn't show up. I mean, hey, Novak's great. It's a good wrestler, but you're Penn State starter. You're not really supposed to get majored, and so, yeah, Connor got worked pretty good. And looks like he got a little bit of an injury there. I'm not sure what happened, but props to him for finishing the match. Looked like he had a ankle sprain or something that happened when he got took a pretty bad shot and just got rolled, mowed over. And then you could tell he was making expressions and talking. I didn't know what he was saying. It was kind of weird. He kept talking like, "Hey ref, I'm hurt." It was just sort of strange because the ref didn't care either. Like I was like, "What do we got going on here?" I mean, you got the 3 if he wants injury time. So I guess
like you talking to yourself or are you talking to me?
That was a weird deal. But he didn't whirly bird. Like maybe if he would have whirly bird, the ref would have been like, okay, because it was because he kept talking. It was just kind of I don't know. I didn't know what to read of it. And then Cole's. Yeah, Cole's probably not a full-size heavyweight. And again, he wasn't wrestling nobody. So anyway, they're on my Tumblr list. I guess, again, that's all about All-American confidence. And, I mean, there's so many good heavyweights this year that from what I've seen from Cole Mirasola, he's not at that AA level.
Yeah.
Zoom links in the chat, guys. You got to take. If you're mad at me, let me know. Feel free to jump right in. All right, so those are my tumblers. Roy, who you got?
All right, I got Patty Gallagher. So for me personally, part of the Tumblr thing is the Tumblr accountability. So now I'm committed to following how he does the rest of the year. Okay. But I've known about Patty Gallagher for a while. He was, I think, the number 1 big board guy out of St. Ed's.
Yeah, a while ago, like a Christian Carroll.
Right. And somehow, and he's shown signs of good, but so this season is kind of a fun fact. He's lost 2 matches in overtime on stalling calls, and one of those times he was the one pushing the guy out of bounds.
Yeah, that was lame.
That is lame. But there is something to like some guys find ways to win matches and some guys find ways to lose matches. And I think that he's got the talent there. And then when Ohio State was ranked number 1, I was like, that's going to lift everybody up on the team. but I don't know yet. I didn't see the level jump I was expecting, so he's on my Tumblr list.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he seemed to have a rough time finding a weight class, or he was like they were inserting him in places he didn't belong the first couple of years, and like you go from like the
Yeah,
number one prospect, and he's kind of getting like pieced up a little bit, and you're like, oh, what's going on here? And then like last year, it seemed
right.
like he had made like significant gains, right? It's like, oh, this guy,
Yeah,
this is an AA level guy, and then like this year, there's been times where you're like, okay, but yeah, there are those guys, and when you get a rep for stalling in overtime, that can be kind of tough, if the refs start buying into it,
right.
then we got a little bit of trouble, for sure. Oh yeah, all right, well that's fair. I wouldn't have done that to Patty, but not
Well,
my
now,
list.
sure.
All right. Well, we do like to keep it pretty quick. Yeah, not a wrestler mentioned that Patty had the 2 sudden victory losses by stalling. So we'll see. We'll see where everything ends up. But you got anything else? What do we got coming up this week? We got some great duels coming up, don't we? Got Ohio State and Iowa State coming up, and
Well, that's the headliner right there.
yeah, well, right. So we got
The real finals of the National Duels
right.
Invitation.
We'll finally get it settled, and then
Yeah.
well, then Ohio State, Penn State, maybe. No, they don't count. They were invited.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Iowa State would have been there if they were invited.
Oh yeah, and it would have been interesting to see what would have happened.
Yeah.
All right, Roy, you want to take us out?
All right. Don't forget, toe the line in everything you do.
QuadR out.